Okay, we are continuing with January 2012 regions. Number 28. This is a quadratic inequality. So because it's a quadratic, get everything to one side. You want this quadratic wherever this is positive. When something's greater than 0, it's positive. So the first step we do are find the critical values. We factor. Set it equal to 0, find the critical values. On your number line, lay out your values. Here's -1, here's 5. If that inequality does not have an equal sign, which it does not, leave open circles. Now, in your calculator, in your Y1, you put this in. We are going to test these segments to see wherever Y is greater than 0, positive. So pull out a value such as x equals anything to the left of -1, -2, and just notice that its Y has a positive value, positive. Pull out a value in the middle section such as 0. Notice the Y is negative. Pull out a value to the right of 5 and notice the Y is positive. It kind of follows the quadratic. So this is also positive. Now, we want the positive parts. We want this part and this part. So you're going to set up an inequality. This is an OR statement. A greater than is an OR statement. So that x, such that x is less than -1, there's no equal sign, or x is greater than 5. In this next one, here's a radical equation. Your first step is to isolate the radical. You isolate the radicals, you isolate your absolute values, get the radical on one side by itself. And you're going to get rid of that negative, divide both sides by -1. Once your absolute value is isolated, square both sides. Remember to square both because this is an equation. When you square a radical, I said absolute value, radical. When you square your radical, it pops out. Now, you have a nice equation, solve for x. Add 5. Divide by 2. Remember to go back and check to make sure that this was a valid answer. Sometimes you get an extraneous root, and this one does check. Here we have a summation. Now, this n keeps changing in here. So we're just going to run this through. It's going to start at 1. We're going to replace the n. So first time through, -1 to the 4th minus 1. We check. We always go in this direction. We check it is not 3. We come down and we bump it up. So we plus. Now n is 2. -2 to the 4th minus 2. We check it's not 3. We bump it up. We are now 3. -3 to the 4th minus 3. Now we're 3, so we stop. Work out each individual section. Or you can do this on your calculator and then add them all together. Now if you do this on your calculator, make sure you show them the calculator steps. Because you have a summation key. Okay, here's a radical. A good way to start a radical and it's a cube root. It's just like a perfect square, but it's a perfect cube. It's to separate the numerator and the denominator. You can take the cube root of a negative number. Put this guy in your calculator, and you will see the cube root of negative 64 is negative 4. Now the cube roots and the square roots work the same way. You take the index, divide it into that exponent. So 3 goes into 6 twice, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. And that's all you had to do for that one. Just watch that negative sign. This one is a nice one also. This one says a blood bank needs 20 people to help with the blood drive. 25 people have volunteered. How many different groups, now don't let the different throw you off, groups, how many different groups of 20 can be formed from the 25 volunteers? Well, in a group, order does not matter. Therefore, you are looking at combinations. So set your combination up. You have 25 people to choose from, and you need 20. And just put that in your calculator. Make sure you show them this. Put this in your calculator and come up with your different groups.